Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and in this unboxing video, we're going to be checking out a game called Dungeon Crusade. This is Book 1, Genesis of Evil, was designed by Roger Deering, and it's worth noting that this is currently on Kickstarter as of the release of this video. There's a handful of days left in the campaign, and I'll put a link to that campaign in the pinned comment and video description for you to go check out more information around what it has to offer. But inside of this video, my focus is going to be showing you everything you can expect to find inside of this box. So without further ado, let's flip it over, take a look, learn a bit more about what this game's all about, and then we're going to check out each and every component inside. Perilous dungeons and high adventure await you in the land of Avalon. Take control of 6 courageous heroes and their trusty fetch hound, Albus, and venture forth to explore the eerie ruins, trap-ridden dungeons, and archaic crypts and forgotten towers of Avalon in an attempt to rid the evil that is plaguing the land and its people. Return victorious to villages for Celebration Day, level your heroes up, purchase new gear from the blacksmith, receive blessings from the temple, and much more. Prepare thyself, hero, an epic journey awaits you. Now, it's worth mentioning that this particular box is jam-packed. I can tell just by picking this thing up that there is very little space inside the box. However, once you punch a majority of what's in here, for the punch boards, that will likely open up some space, but this thing is packed to the brims. Down at the very bottom here is a loadout of all the contents, but we're going to be going through all of them anyway. When you open up the box, you're going to find the Crusader's Handbook. We're going to go through a number of these pages in a moment, and we also have the scenario book, and then it gets right into the tiles. Now, Roger is a die-hard solo gamer, so this game has been built from the ground up with solo play as well as co-op, so you have all the options covered. The game does require you to control 6 heroes, but the process of doing so becomes very easy and streamlined once you understand the rules and not overly cumbersome. Finally, just before we take a look inside this handbook, I want to make mention for those of you like me that love quick reference guides, a pared down version of the rulebook. There is one officially created. I put a link to it in the video description and in the pinned comment, so you can go check that out. This is going to help you quickly set up the game and get playing in no time at all, rather than having to consume the entire rule book to get yourself going. When you first open up the book, you're going to find the table of contents, and you'll find a loadout of the heroes on the left-hand side. Now, I've jumped ahead to page number 4, where you start setting up the game, going through the introduction and beginning the basic setup. There's also an advanced setup there as well. But remember, you have that quick reference guide to use as well to get yourself started. It's worth mentioning that a couple pages back, the things I moved over really summarize some of the different editions of the game and their components. So here's an example of the layout of the rulebook. We have the general flow of the game, the top left-hand corner, victory and defeat right there on the center left, and then the component overview giving you an idea of what all these tokens in the game actually mean and what they do. Now, flipping much further into the rulebook, we have a section here all around minions. It's worth mentioning there is an Evolved Minions official game variant that also has a link for more information, which is in the video description and pinned comment if you want to see that as well. This is going to add a bunch of benefits to the game, especially with speeding up the gameplay and a number of other aspects. There's certainly lots to see and do inside the game. You're going to have tavern tasks, you're going to have treasure chest decks to go through, encounter decks, all these detailed in the book. Finally, at the very back of the book, you have 5 steps to setting up a game, how to begin combat, when a monster attacks a hero, buying and selling loot to the blacksmith, environmental hazards, and then events that will raise the terror level by 1. They're all laid out here. Again, though, you're going to find that likely the quick reference guide is going to be an even better sum up of this information. Next up, we have the scenario book for Dungeon Crusade. Let's take a look inside. Here's a look at scenario number 1, Into the Depths. You'll see a quest table on the far left-hand side. You've got Dungeon Ancient Runes, a bizarre inventory, the village terror level, seeding. Now, all of this stuff is actually explained very well in a series of videos that Roger put together. Again, that playlist of videos I'll put a link to in the video description and pinned comment, so you can actually have an understanding from the designer himself on how this table looks. Now, it looks pretty involved, but based on his explanation in his videos, it's really not that involved at all. And then of course you have the advanced setup on the right hand side. You'll see in the bottom right a picture of the game board. Further into the book, you're going to find more scenarios like Into the Depths and Darkness Descending, and again, these are going to help you to situate and structure your scenario that you're going up against. Now, I'm not going to show you every single page in the book, but I will let you know that there are 10 scenarios across this book number 1. Now let's shift our attention to some of the game board tiles. These are double-sided. I'm going to show you both sides. Next up inside the box is a number of different punch boards and boards that will be used during gameplay. Let's take a look at each of them quickly. Now let's take a close-up look at a bunch of punch boards in the game that have standees and additional tokens. You've seen about half of what the game has to offer inside the box. There's still a number of packs of cards, game components, and some more tiles and areas here to go through. Here's a look at an overarching piece of the game map here. Lots of different locations to explore. In the very top here, you'll see it mentions unexplored, explored, and the fate track. On the far left, we have gold, silver, and bronze. There was also a double-sided environment tile here inside the box. And as you can see more clearly now, there's even more cards at the bottom. A full bag of standees is included, and it is very full. There's a whole pile of dice as well. Now let's go through as many of these cards as we possibly can. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up this unboxing for Dungeon Crusade Book 1, Genesis of Evil, made by Roger Deering, currently on Kickstarter. It's worth mentioning there's also a game, Avalon Adventure, which is a board game that you can play first, and if your heroes survive through that land of Avalon, you can import those characters into Dungeon Crusade. They can take gold, loot, and potions they found in Avalon straight into this one here. So pretty interesting if you're looking for a prequel to this game. And again, the universe surrounding this one is really flushed out. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot of content to dig into and enjoy if you're looking for a really meaty solo dungeon crawler. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think about what you saw. And for those of you that have played Dungeon Crusade, let us know as well what your thoughts are. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.